Just over 1 year ago, we made the best decision for our family. We bought this RV to chase adventures, make memories, and experience freedom in a whole new way. It has been fantastic. The Keystone Cougar has been our home away from home for just over a year, and we want to let you know how we feel about it now.
Don't leave early, because we're going to give you a sneak peek at what's next.
Oh. So some of the reasons that we chose this particular model, which is the Keystone Cougar 2700BH, is that it's got a potential for 3 bunks. Granted, one of them is a mattress on the floor. However, it was a tough find to get full-length beds for our large sons. They're 16, 17, and 20. They were a year younger then, but still. Most of the bunk rooms that we found that were the standard floor plans all had like the top, bottom, side-by-side bunks, and they were short. And our kids usually end up on their backs, and we're all about 5'10". So that wasn't super comfortable. So this gave us an open floor plan, which was on my checklist, nice big long kitchen, and the big U-shaped dinette, which was also on my list. Also, there was a good amount of clothing storage in the master bedroom, which was also on my list.
So one of the big upgrades we did was the Gen Y gooseneck hitch, or pin box replacement really is what it is. We had the BMW companion hitch and loved it, but the problem was that, as everyone knows, those take up the entire bed of the truck. That Gen Y hitch really gave us the ability to get the bed back in the truck. Attaches to the gooseneck ball. Another part of it is the Gen Y has the cushioning or suspension kind of to it. It takes some of the shock from the road and that connection between the truck and the trailer, which reduces the wear and tear on both actually. But so far, no problems with it. It's been great. It took a little getting used to as far as hooking up. It was a little bit different, a little bit more difficult, and getting everything lined up perfectly. But yeah, so far we've had probably over 3,000 miles on it at this point, and love it. It smoothed everything out for us. It was a great addition. Yep,
definitely would recommend it and do it again if we needed to.
Yeah, and I believe we do have a discount code for that as well that we can put in the description below.
Another very important upgrade that I was looking forward to doing was a water filtration system. I am a little bit, could be considered a water snob. I love alkaline water. I like good tasting, very, very highly filtered, but with minerals water. So something you have to be careful of with a water filtration system is if it's like a straight up reverse osmosis system, you're stripping all of the minerals out of the water. So your body is not getting the hydration that it needs from the minerals that are naturally in water, even though it's pulling all the bad stuff out too. That's great, but you have to supplement with either like an electrolyte powder or something like that. So we went with Water Drop. It was very affordable. I will have a link to that in the description. We did get it on Amazon. They have quite a few different models. We chose this one because it has stainless steel lines. So you're not adding those microplastics to your water as they come out the faucet. So Brandon plumbed it right under the kitchen sink. And so as long as you're on full cold, you're getting the fully filtered water with the minerals. So it's been great. I really love it. It's really nice to not be lugging around the jugs of water that we were doing. It's costly. It creates a lot of trash and a lot of weight in the camper. So we were always filling up either the back underneath the sink or under the dinette with gallons of water. And again, it's being stored in plastic, so I try to avoid that. But I've been really happy with it and highly recommend.
So our next upgrade that we're going to discuss is a two-part, because it involves
two parts.
The air conditioning. The first one we actually did was the RV airflow systems on our main AC. Basically improves airflow throughout the ducting system, makes the AC more efficient.
And we are here in Texas, where it gets very, very hot, especially in the summers when we travel the most, or utilize the RV the most.
On average, in the summers here through July and August, it's typically between 90 and 100 degrees every single day. Yeah.
So maximizing the efficiency of the AC is an absolute must.
Yeah. So the other thing that we added to our AC system, or to our main AC, was the micro air soft start system. What that does is allows it to slowly ramp up the motor compressor in order to not have that loud jolting electrical motor come on when it draws all those amps. It also, what it does is reduces the startup amps for the RV, for the air conditioner. That helps in the off-grid situations as well, if you're inverted, to allow it to not draw so much on that initial impact, and allows you to actually run more efficiently and with less amps to get it cranked up. So.
And how did the installation go on those two projects?
The installation on the airflow systems went well. It's pretty straightforward. You're installing a styrofoam block that's designed to match up perfectly to your system.
And we do have a video on that.
Yes.
So be sure to link it in the description here. So
yeah, and
be sure to check that video
we may
out.
still have a discount code for that as well. We'll double check on that and let you know in the bottom of the description. So this creates a path, a dedicated path for the air to come out from the blower and go directly into the ductwork.
But the video does have all that information, so check that out next.
Yeah, and the soft start, that was fairly easy. I did have some, I guess, concerns that it may be a little more difficult. It's wiring, and wiring is always not so fun sometimes. And they do have awesome customer support. You can actually reserve a time to have a technician FaceTime with you and walk through the entire install with you while you're up on your RV. You just have to call them and set that up.
That's some good service.
Luckily, I didn't need that at all. I watched a few videos. There was another video on our exact, the Furrion AC that we have. They have pretty good instructions in their manual as well. And so I just tried to follow that to a T, and it's pretty simple. It's basically moving a couple wires around and adding some new ones in, and 30 or 45 minutes to install it. And that's with getting up and down off the top of the RV. So.
And we don't have video of that because Mr. Handyman just did it without.
Yeah, we were getting ready for our big trip, which is another video if you haven't seen it. Our big trip to Utah. We made a few upgrades right before the trip to try and help things out a little bit, and so I was just getting it done.
And that leads us to our final upgrade that we're going to talk about today. There are a lot of little things that we did. Whether you are a seasoned RVer or just getting started, there are so many little things that can make your RV life easier. So we're going to do a separate video of that. Be sure to subscribe because it will be coming soon-ish or soon, just depending on things, but it's coming.
Hang with us. We are we work full time at other jobs, and we get out every chance we can.
So that final upgrade, we're going to take you outside and show you what that's all about, because we also didn't get video of that. There was a lot going on before that big trip, as Brandon mentioned. So we will show you how that went and what it did for the rig.
Okay, so our final upgrade is the CRE 3000, CRE 3000. Not sure exactly how you want to pronounce it, but whatever you want. It's a suspension for our RV underneath on the axles. So what this does, it's got some rubber bushings in between here, and it's got the ability to travel a little bit. You can see kind of the groove there. It gives the suspension better movement. I also added the wet bolt kit, which allows you to grease every single joint, and that just makes things move smoother, work better. It's quieter. I've noticed it keeps the trailer a little more, I guess, at ease. It doesn't seem to upset as much going over bumps because it feels like it's absorbing what is going over better. But good upgrade. I liked it just for the maintenance fact that you can get underneath there and grease all the bolts again. You don't have the plastic bushings and the hard points from the factory, so it's Good upgrade.
So after about 15 months with this fifth wheel, which is our first fifth wheel, we're
selling it.
That's news to me.
Maybe not.
We had a travel trailer first. That was our first entry into RV life.
A 28-foot Jayco.
Yeah.
Just no slides, basic.
Yeah.
Aluminum sides.
We decided we loved RVing, and it was too small. Well, yeah, it just wasn't functional enough for us. We have a video on that too.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about that right now. So our overall review of this Cougar 2700 BH. Overall, we really love it. Like, it's served us very, very well. The floor space is huge. It just feels so open and huge. Even though it's a one slide unit, it is the U-shaped dinette is the only thing that goes out. Well, it has the fridge in there as well. Yep. The long countertop into the kitchen. I've got the cutting board on the stove. We actually have a second piece that we use there sometime by Siphoner. That will be linked in the description. It's a nice, simple black metal, very
low profile.
Yeah, this bounces around. It's real pretty, but for full-timers especially, it's not highly functional because I have to put it on the floor, and it's bounced around quite a bit. The large amount of workspace for the kitchen is fantastic. I love to cook when we're camping, more so than when we're at home. It's just fun. So we utilize that. We utilize all the bunks. We've utilized the fold-out couch because the lower bunk on our big trip, we had snowboards and snow gear and all the massive amounts of stuff that comes with a winter trip. So we needed to just store all that. And so we had the third child just sleep on the couch, and it worked fine. It was a little cumbersome. You'd have to fold it up in the morning, but it wasn't bad.
It's a great flexible space. You can store a ton of stuff, or you can store a kid there, or you can store your dogs there.
Oh, we're talking about the bunk. My bad.
Yes.
Thought we were stuffing kids in the bottom of the... Don't do that.
Yeah, no. In the bunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has a lot of things that she really wanted. She wanted a U-shaped dinette, which we have.
And we use. I sit down with the boys. Brandon doesn't use it that much, but me and the boys will sit down and play games. And even just the three boys. And three boys, adult-sized boys, fit there perfectly. One on each seat. You can potentially fit 4 and 5. And depending on the size of your humans, it could be comfortable. It's just not terribly comfortable for us to sit there and eat. We also did replace the table, and it's smaller than the default table or the factory table.
Yeah, and the main thing there is that's one of the things that we didn't like about this trailer is that the dinette table that came with it had 2 legs, and they were very close to where you wanted to slide past the table to get in. Mm-hmm. Grown adult is going to hit their knees on them every single time. Lots of people have done different things. We installed just a single leg aftermarket table that we love, and it works great for us because we didn't need the option to fold it down for a bed.
Yeah, we don't have any humans that size that would comfortably sleep there. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it's like 5.5 feet.
Yeah,
it's
it
pretty good
it would
size.
fit an adult. It's as big as, basically as big as their bunks in the back.
We decided we'd rather have not banged up knees and lose that option as an additional sleeping space. So
yeah,
just wasn't something that was important to us. Yep. Might be important to you.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was wanting in a trailer is I wanted it to still be somewhat short. One, because we actually keep this thing in our driveway. We don't store it somewhere else. And so our last trailer was 28 feet. It was actually about 32 total. This one is 32.8, I believe is what it is, tip to tail. So it fits in the same area. It's much taller, fifth wheel versus a conventional bumper pool.
High ceiling. That was one of the things that
which adds tons of storage
really
as well.
love.
There's a huge amount of cabinets behind the camera here. So that was a big plus, is that it was still maintained about the same overall size, just a little bit taller. When you did the 3 bunks for the kids, we had the 3 bunks plus, whatever we want. But it works as a great storage. The dogs actually go sleep in there when the kids aren't with us. The dogs will go underneath and their beds go there. But if you have a ton of stuff that you have to move with you, I mean, it fits a bunch of stuff underneath there. And actually, we are shorter now than we were total length with truck and trailer because of the fifth wheel overhang.
Man, I really love it. I did lots of cosmetic things. There's videos on those things too, like the wood trim and the shades versus, or the pull down roller shades versus the factory shades.
There are videos on some of it, and there will be, another video on, some of the smaller things we've done to it.
But overall, I really don't have any complaints.
Yeah.
The bathroom is highly functional. The cabinetry, there's plenty of storage. We have empty cabinets. So if you were full time, there's plenty of room.
There's some things that we wish could be a little bit better, but there's limitations based on what we wanted for other things. I wish the couch was a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
But because it's dedicated to pull out, to be able to accommodate either an extra kid or friend, or if there's stuff down here, to be able to put them on the couch there, that works better for us. And we get by with it.
But at the same time, there's always going to be a trade-off.
Yeah.
It really functions great. They did a phenomenal job with craftsmanship on this unit. We haven't seen anything that's just done crappy. It's made well. The only thing we had go wrong that was factory was the black tank issue.
Yeah, so we had the black tank issue that is a common, I say common, we've heard of a lot of people having it. It's enough that they knew right away what it was at the dealership. And they took care of it. Keystone warrantied the whole tank, so their fix is just to replace the entire tank. Which, I think a design change could happen there to where it's just a threaded fitting.
Yeah.
It was easy to change out, and then I could have actually done it and not even had to have it in the repair shop. But
that's really the only thing that's gone wrong.
Yeah, that's the only big thing at all.
And that's
only other thing I can think of that I really don't like is I wish it had a dedicated ladder on the back of it. It does not.
That's true.
It uses a extended, I guess a collapsible ladder is what it is, and it's got a mounting point in the back to catch a couple hooks on it to keep it from sliding from side to side so you don't fall off the edge.
Yeah, it is a little sketchy going up and down. It's
and
not as easy.
I just wish there was a permanent ladder there. It just would make things a lot easier. You don't have to pull a ladder out. You don't have to store the ladder with you. So that becomes a little cumbersome at times, but it's not
because it's in the bunk.
Yeah, it usually rides in the bunk. Some people will actually put it underneath their bed, and there's a big storage under there.
Oh, yeah. We have lots of toilet paper and paper towels there.
Yeah, but overall, it's got great storage throughout. It functions for our family of 5
beautifully.
It makes all the problems that we had before with the smaller trailer, it takes care of those. It's not perfect, but it's about 90% of everything we would want.
Yeah.
We've been to Colorado and Utah and New Mexico and all through the mountains and up and down and everything. And we've got just a single wheel 3/4 ton Chevy, and it pulls it like a dream. It has zero problems with it whatsoever. We've pulled in the snow, ice, everything. And it just keeps on trucking, and it stays right behind us. So.
Yep.
But
highly recommend.
Yep.
One thing we forgot to mention, road mode. One of the best features of this particular camper is when you are driving down the road, you can pull over, you can make a snack, you have full access to your fridge, you have full access to your sink and countertops, and most importantly, a straight shot to the bathroom. So we've used it every time we go out. We pull over and we can use our own restroom. We don't have to go into a nasty gas station, and you don't have to find a gas station. So that's huge. That's another thing to consider, and another big thing that we were looking for that was kind of on our checklist was, can you get to the bathroom, and what is the accessibility of the rig while you're driving down the road? Well, when you're stopped, but driving down the road.